Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. So today we're going to take a trip over to Bluesky and check in on this echo chamber because hundreds, if not thousands of users over there are currently crashing out over the upcoming release of Hogwarts Legacy 2. And yes, there's another massive harassment campaign already brewing for this game that might match or be even worse than the previous one. Now, going over to Bluesky is like fishing in a barrel for these types of posts. It's like they took the worst activists from Twitter and then just condensed them down and put them in one room together, and it's just an absolute disaster on this app. It's like finding a hidden oil reserve in your backyard. Of course, you're gonna farm it, just like I'm going to farm posts on Bluesky because it's just that easy to see unhinged posts about relevant topics for this channel. Now, before we get into the new stuff, let's revisit quickly what happened with the first game. Back in February of 2023, Hogwarts Legacy came out, and immediately there was a lot of posts going viral trying to virtue signal about this game. The main claim was that if you buy this game, you're supporting transphobia because it's an IP that belongs to J.K. Rowling, who these people believe is a transphobe. And that's where it began, but it quickly evolved even beyond that to the point of people being threatened, doxxed, attacked, and almost deplatformed in some cases. We saw things like this, applications like this being used, where it was tracking every single person streaming Hogwarts Legacy so you could go brigade them. And that happened with many different people, including one situation where a girl was bullied so hard by the chat in her stream that she started breaking down and crying and had to end the stream, which ironically enough, the people were calling them a transphobe, despite the fact the stream was a charity event for the Trevor Project, which is supposed to give money to LGBT youth. So they basically dismantled that charity campaign to virtue signal about a video game they were playing while running the charity event. And there was also many other content creators, including VTubers, who were harassed as a result of playing this game or showing interest in the game, but we'll get back to that in just a second. So, I wanted to share the one good post about Hogwarts Legacy 2. Out of the hundreds, this was the most reasonable one I found, and I think this is a good place to start, where this person basically said, I have had a lot of good experiences with the franchise, and clearly it seems like she doesn't like J.K. Rowling's beliefs, and now doesn't want to give any more money over to that franchise and J.K. Rowling. Makes sense. I think that's reasonable. If you don't like the game, you don't like the person who created it in this case, then don't buy it. It's really just as simple as that. There's nothing here that's trying to harass anyone. They're not trying to ostracize anyone. It's just their own personal decision to not financially support this franchise while also recognizing that they had a lot of good memories with it. Now, of course, there's a lot of other people who didn't learn their lesson. This person saying, listen here, you little shits. The fact this did well enough to get a sequel means we didn't do enough. Stop buying the wizard trash. They learn absolutely nothing. No, you don't need to do more this time. You did enough last time where you were the greatest promotion for this game ever, where it skyrocketed to over 30 million units sold. People were pissing their pants in joy when they saw that Assassin's Creed Shadows had 3 million players. But this is what real success looks like. This was the highest selling game in all of 2023. Yes, it would have done well on its own without the campaign, but the campaign rallied people against the activists, and a lot of people bought this game in solidarity with the people being attacked for showing interest in it. And that was just a big backfire, and people haven't learned anything, including people in the VTubing scene, which was one of the places where the virtue signaling was the strongest and loudest. And you can see this post, learning nothing, as I said, saying, welcome to another episode of Will You Support Trans Rights or Play the Shitty Wizard Game? Let's see how many VTubers picked the wrong option this time. And by picked the wrong option this time, they mean playing a literal video game. And as we saw last time, picking the wrong option comes with harassment, doxing, and a lot of threats. We saw some prominent examples with Pikami, for example, who simply expressed interest in streaming this game and was immediately attacked, called a transphobe, all these things. It clearly affected them very much. It upset them to see all of this, and they would take a hiatus and then eventually graduate. And based on the words that were said, it seems like this harassment campaign lodged against her helped accelerate her graduation from her former company. We also had Silvervale, who was harassed, and she claims her family was doxxed as a result of playing this game. And eventually she would double down and say she's not going to be bullied by a bunch of Twitter freaks, which led to more harassment and people saying she needs to be game-ended. And then we saw people just covering this stuff, even covering it in a neutral way, getting death threats. And we saw other VTubers catching strays, including Iron Mouse. People were calling her transphobic because she said it was wrong to harass Silvervale over a video game. Like, imagine calling Iron Mouse, of all people, a transphobe. And overall in the VTubing scene, here's just a crop of screenshots I had from my old folder on this. I mean, you can see the names, right? I think maybe, at best, one person in this entire group of VTubers is still making content 2 years later. Because that's all they did back then. They just wanted to virtue signal their activists who were cosplaying as VTubers. Basically, that was what they were doing, and eventually they lost interest in that because they didn't really want to be a VTuber that much. They just wanted to join in on activism and all that stuff. But here's some more posts from the recent second wave of harassment that's going to be targeting people playing Hogwarts Legacy. This person's saying, if you buy this game, you are dead to me. That's a pretty bold statement for someone playing a video game. Here's another one saying that they're going to befriend or end their friendship with you, even if it's 20 years long, because this is a boundary they are holding on to. So even if you're friends with this person for 20 years, if you do anything to support this game, you're cut off. You're done forever. Yeah, this is why I strongly urge people to be very careful whenever they're trying to befriend an activist like this, because imagine walking on eggshells for the entirety of your relationship with this person, knowing that if you do one wrong thing, one small thing that they don't like, you're cut off. You're dead to them. That's extreme. That's very extreme, and it would be exhausting to be friends with people who have this sort of mentality. We also have this post here saying, we really need to start taking people out with a shovel. So that's an obvious threat. This person getting a little more direct, saying, if I catch you playing this and I know you in real life, I will beat you up. So yeah, this is the person who's going to beat you up in real life for playing a video game, a gender-fluid gremlin, they, she, 30-year-old pan, lesbian, sadistic mommy. Like, oh my god. Bluesky is definitely a place. It's definitely one of the most places of all time. It's a very, very interesting scene. But also we have this post saying, we still hate the transphobic, anti-Semitic, racist video game. And it shows this Fox News article that says, Sacramento pub apologizes after Antifa condemns it for showing Harry Potter video game footage. Basically, someone in the pub was sharing a live stream of someone playing Hogwarts Legacy, and Antifa came and harassed them, and then the pub backed down. As far as I'm concerned, this is nothing but L's. Antifa, giant L. This pub, giant L. This is ridiculous. What is this supposed to prove? Everyone involved in this is just pathetic. And then you see this claim too, I have to point this out. Anti-Semitic. People were calling Hogwarts Legacy anti-Semitic, and you'll never believe the reason why. So a lot of journalists and activists on social media claimed that this game was anti-Semitic because they looked at the goblin characters and saw their big nose and said, oh, that's a caricature of a Jewish person. Yes, these are the anti-bigots. These are the people who see these things and think you're wrong for not supporting their crazy fan fiction they're making up in their head to get mad about this game. We also have this saying, if you buy HP stuff, I will 100% think less of you. It directly funds J.K. Rowling's campaign of bigotry against trans people. It really cannot be that hard to just not buy Harry Potter stuff, but then again, people will still choose mediocre chicken sandwich over gay rights, so what do I know? So this last part is interesting. Mediocre chicken sandwich, not the way I eat it. For context here, they're referring to a controversy and boycott involving the fast food chain Chick-fil-A, and people believed because the CEO of the company is anti-gay marriage that supporting their company is homophobia, okay? And people wanted to start a big boycott and, saying don't eat their sandwiches, it makes you a homophobe and a person who supports homophobia. Yeah, that one didn't last. That was one of the most superficial boycotts of all time because apparently to these people, the chicken sandwiches were so good, they just got completely owned. They gave up on their boycott and just started continuing to eat chicken sandwiches knowing there's this boycott in place. They literally got one shot by a chicken sandwich. Their entire political belief system got one shot by a chicken sandwich. I'll never forget about that. That is the funniest boycott that's still active to this day, by the way, but no one really cares about because they just like Chick-fil-A that much. But anyways, you have more posts here saying if you buy anything that gives J.K. Rowling money, you are funding the death of trans kids. That's a pretty bold statement, right? They're saying J.K. Rowling is funding people who are killing trans kids. I don't really see the proof there, but that's a very outrageous claim. They say this in another post. Yeah, no, with the first one, you had the slimmest excuse of not knowing. If you buy this one, you willfully fund a trans genocide. Did you guys know there's a trans genocide going on right now? I'm not sure where this is happening or any of the details, and they don't really ever want to tell you the details. So, yeah, they're claiming there's a literal trans genocide going on right now, and buying this game supports that directly. Here's another one saying trans people were a major Holocaust target under the Hitler Nazis, and trans people are a major target under the current Trump Nazis. JKR herself said your support of Harry Potter shows her you support her views. If you buy this game, you are a Nazi. Stop supporting Nazi views makes you a Nazi. Wow, this person really twisted themselves into a pretzel to get mad about people buying a video game, huh? Let's not overlook the comparison at the beginning where they're comparing trans people living in the United States in the year 2025 to Holocaust victims. Are we serious? Are we actually doing this? This is crazy. And also think about, what does Trump or America have to do with any of this? It's just like a very weird injection of this statement here. And again, they're just straight up calling you a Nazi if you buy this game. That's the standard. So unfortunately, if you buy that video game, it's over. And as always with these people, they want to find a way to give you these labels because they want to dehumanize you. They want to make it seem like it's okay for anything bad to happen to you because you're just a bigot. You're a Nazi. You're one of these labels they give you, and that's it. It's a way to dismiss any sort of guilt associated with bad things happening to you. That is the goal here with posts like this. Here's another one saying, if I catch wind of you playing this game or supporting it or anything, you're going to be blocked and banned from all spaces. I don't care about your reasoning. Okay, we've seen stuff like this before, obviously a little repetitive, but I bring this up because this person's like, you support this game, you're done. I will not tolerate you supporting such an evil thing. Then you click on their profile, and they got a hammer and sickle. This person unironically supports communism, but is going to cut you off for playing a video game. I wonder which side is more ridiculous to support, which ideology here is more dangerous and has cost actual human lives. I'll let you think about that one, Bluesky. But here's another one. This one's just sad. This person said, I want to punch the 2023 version of myself because of this. Because I was unfortunately one of the assholes who bought the first game during that discourse back in 2023, and I regret it because I've learned more since then, so now it just sits in my Steam library like a pin of shame. Hashtag I hate myself. I want to put my hand on this guy's shoulder and just say, it's okay. You don't need to do this to yourself. You don't need to make yourself feel bad. You don't have to wear a pin of shame on Steam to let people see your mistakes for buying a video game. You're not an asshole. You're not a bad person for buying this game. You don't got to do this. You don't have to do this. And if you have to do this to get people's acceptance, those are not people you want acceptance from because they probably will turn on you the second it's convenient for them to do so. Here's another one saying no one cares except for right-wing chuds who will use this game as an excuse to say they hate trans people's existence. Yeah, it was like 35 million right-wing chuds from Twitter who bought this game, by the way. This is so crazy. It's so weird that everything gets so divisive where you can't even fathom that people would just buy this game without having some sort of a political motivation behind it. And also, I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure people who are actual transphobes, they won't express that through playing a video game. They'll just be transphobic. Like, unfortunately, that's just how it is. So this is a weird claim to make in the first place. And then you have this one saying, can we round up a bunch of games that are better as a wizard game than this? Oh, wait, I got one. Spellbound. Oh, wait, it was shut down. Yeah, there's a big effort to try to find a wizard game replacement to support instead. It's not going very well, but I guess that's kind of the thing they're trying to do to deal with this very distressing situation of this game releasing. Here's another one saying, the sad part is I could write a better book than this bitch ever could. And I'm a terrible writer. I don't believe you. Yeah, I don't believe you. I don't believe you could write a better book than J.K. Rowling. I don't. It's really that simple. This is the problem. This is not just for Bluesky. This is like human beings in general. When they see a product or something made by someone they don't like, they immediately discredit any sort of quality it might have. They're like, oh yeah, that thing they made, absolutely terrible. It's the worst thing ever. I'm pretty sure there's some positive aspects of the writing behind this franchise. There's clearly some level of skill there from J.K. Rowling. You don't have to like her, but you can at least acknowledge she's probably at least a somewhat good writer. I mean, can we just admit that without being so polarized? Here's another one saying, I've currently bought 3 copies of Hogwarts Legacy, all secondhand. I'm breaking the discs to make some kind of mosaic. I've spent $12 total. One guy at a flea market gave me one for free when I told him what I was doing. Well, they're probably like scared of you because like this is not a very stable person who's buying copies of a game that they hate just so they can smash them and then make a mosaic out of it. They're probably like, please take this and leave me alone. But this is the normal people. This is so unhinged. Who does stuff like this? Who has it in their mind and in their desires to go out and waste their time and money to smash discs of a game they don't like? It makes no sense. And also, aren't you putting money back in the pockets of the supposed transphobes who bought the game in the first place who are now reselling it? Weird. But here's one final post to kind of end this on. You play this game, you support a heavily influential transphobe. You play this game and you're one of my friends. I will begin questioning our friendship and confront you about it. If it ends, it ends. Can't believe this got a sequel to begin with. Don't care if the gameplay is good. Yeah, this one kind of sums up all the posts we've been looking at. Just complete lack of self-awareness. Can't believe this game got a sequel. I can believe it. And I can believe at this point it's probably going to get more games after the second one comes out because everyone on places like Bluesky are going to complain about this game, polarize people, rally them behind the game, and they're going to go out and buy it or get exposed to this game because people are complaining about it. And they can't just ignore something they don't like. They have to make it political. They have to make it a whole harassment campaign. And that's what happened last time with the original Hogwarts Legacy. And it's probably going to happen again with the second version coming out soon. But that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.